The fate of the world as we know it is tied to water in multiple ways. Sea levels are rising at a rapidly increasing rate, and at the same time, scientists project that we will run out of drinkable water in just 18 years. The problem is that while our supply runs out, our demand for water is increasing. Global water demand for all uses will increase by 20 to 30% by 2050. Hello, I am your host, Mike Lake, and in this preview, I will be talking with Sylvain Spenle about why it is so important that we begin reducing our water consumption and learn to do more with less.
Innovation, resiliency, discovery. Join Mike Lake, President and CEO of Leading Cities, as we explore the technologies shaping the possibilities of our future with a preview of tomorrow.
Hello and welcome, Sylvain. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Preview of Tomorrow. And once again, I want to welcome all of our listeners and viewers. And now I get to introduce you to Sylvain Spenle, the CEO of Robeau. It's a company with an IoT, Internet of Things. Sorry, I should have said that at the beginning. Turnkey solution to reduce water consumption by 40% everywhere by having created a real-time indicator for water consumption. Now, Sylvain, before we get into the challenges we face with water and the consumption of water, and of course your solution, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you come to focus on the water industry?
Well, it's a long story, but to be short, well, first I'm an engineer, so I worked a lot in the engineer area, and a long time ago I would like to understand, to figure out how we can measure the water consumption in my house, and it was a real challenge because nothing existed, and we decided in 5 years ago to create something, to create an indicator with my partner, because I'm an engineer specialized in Lean Six Sigma methodology. The first thing I have in mind, was to create an indicator of performance, and it was really easy to find it because it doesn't exist yet. We created a real-time measure of water consumption, and this was the first step of our solution, the basics to do everything with that, because with this indicator, we can do everything to detect leaks, to detect overconsumption, to detect blocked flushes, and to do everything with this indicator. And just to do a comparison with your car, imagine you are in your car with a dashboard with your speed indicator, and you need to reduce your speed. How can you do that without the speed indicator in front of you? And it was the same problem with the water consumption. So we decided to create this indicator and to give it to our customers to allow them to measure in real time this water consumption. So, and as Norton and Kaplan said, you can't manage what you can't measure. So it was very important to us to use the new technology and the IoT to build this indicator. So it was a story of how we built the solution after that.
So that's fascinating, and I think we're all aware that our water consumption globally is increasing dramatically.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I've said this before on Preview of Tomorrow, but that there's only 1% of the Earth's water is actually drinkable.
Yes.
So water is a really valuable commodity that we kind of take for granted in most places.
Yes. And we have a lot of problem with water, of course, because there is not a lot of water available for people. And in the towns today, you have major problem that is that you cannot distribute water to everybody because population increases inside the town, but quantity of water available decreases. So with the climate change, with the drought, with all this kind of problems. So yes, it's a real problem today.
And if this continues, tell us, what is your fear for the future?
Well, the fear for the future is that in the next years, you will have problem of water scarcity everywhere on the earth. And to do that, we need to reduce the way we use water, because it's incredible the way we use water today in the world. Can, imagine that you use water in your toilets, you use drinking water in your toilets today. It's not possible, because we will have a lack of water in 5 years, in 10 years, and we need to change that. We need to change habits. So it's a real problem, because the main problem of the earth in 5 years, in 10 years, will be the lack of water. So the water scarcity. So it's a big, big, big problem. And if you analyze a bit the politics of the government, of the different governments, you will see that the water is a major point of attention for them. So yes, it's critical.
And is it true that much of that increase in water over the coming years it's less from individuals, or is it more from industry?
Well, today water is used by three kind of areas. Uh, the area which use a lot, the major part of water is agriculture. Agriculture use 70% of water on the earth, so it's a big part of the water consumption. After that, you have industry with 20% of the water consumption, and then you have the population with 10%. So we have to pay attention about agriculture, industry, and then people, population, and towns. But the most important for us, what is the most important? Agriculture or towns?
Yeah. Both are
Really,
important, is what it comes down to.
it's very
Yes.
difficult to answer. I don't have the answer, but anyway, we need to pay attention about all these consumptions everywhere in agriculture, industries, and population. There is no difference between them, because we need to do everything in each sector. So no, it's a big problem today. Yeah. So or today we decided to have a challenge to reduce by 40% the consumption of water, to preserve it as long as possible in all areas, agriculture, industries, and towns and cities. So yes, it's a big challenge, but we need and we have to do that.
And I'll tell you, on Preview of Tomorrow, we cover a lot of topics and look into a lot of different problems, every one of them serious. But the reality is, for humans especially, there are few problems as more serious than water, because we just can't live without it.
Yes, exactly. We can live with water during 3 days, but not more.
Right.
Because
So
our body is made by 80% of water. So
right. And as we said before, that even though 2/3 of the planet is water, it's not all helpful.
yes,
to
exactly.
human life, at least.
Exactly, and we can find solution to use water of the sea, but it's very, very complex, and it's very it's very expensive. So we cannot do it, because it's not possible today. So yes, we have a real problem with the water everywhere on the earth. Yes.
So let's talk now a little bit more about Robeau. What is it that you're doing, and how are you resolving this serious challenge?
Well, as I said, we decided to deliver the first step of the problem with this indicator in real time. So first of all, we imagine a system, a solution to have this indicator, and with this IoT, we built a sensor. It's just a turbine to measure in real time this water consumption everywhere. So with this sensor, we measure the water consumption on pipe everywhere in the building, and then we collect the data with the LoRa network, which is an IoT protocol, and all data are sent to our platform. And our platform, with a platform, they can analyze all the data, and you have intelligence inside the platform to set up alerts and to detect leaks, and so to avoid water wastage. So it's a real solution to stop to waste water and to stop to not detect leaks because you have in real time the alerts to detect leaks, and so you can react quickly, and like that you can save more than 30%, 40% of water in the building, because maybe you don't know, but in a building, all buildings, in your building, in your offices, the leaks are about 20% of your total water consumption annually. Yes,
Wow.
it's huge. And if you take the other part after your water meter, so in the building there is 20% due to the leaks, but before the building there is also 20% lost in leaks before the entrance of the
Wow.
building. So yes, it's amazing. It's something amazing, and all the cities want to battle against the leaks in the network, in the water network, and so we help them to detect these leaks inside the building for a part, and sometimes in the water network before the building. But our major business is inside the building. So yes, it's a great thing. So we have an IoT solution, a digest of technology that we transform to be simple for everybody, because it's a turnkey solution, as you said, and we transform it to be simple for everybody and for customers to be used by anybody who wants to drive his car by himself. So it's very easy to use, but it's a digest of technology with mechanics, with electronics, with IoT, with telecoms, and with software development. So there is a lot of technologies together to build this solution.
So, can you walk us through that experience of a user? How does it work?
Well, very simple. Today we have some customers who decided to install the solution inside the building, and they just define the configuration. So they, for example, for Hammerson, for commercial centers, they decide to install one sensors by stores or by restaurant in the commercial center. So that means about 200 sensors inside the commercial centers. And as soon as it's installed, they receive all the data in real time of the consumption about the consumption of each stores and each restaurants. And we have a good example, because the last commercial center we installed, we just installed a pizzeria, and so an Italian restaurant, yes, who was closed because there was a lockdown and the COVID crisis. And as soon as we installed our sensor, there was consumption inside the restaurant. So it was amazing. So we decided we alerted the technical director of the center, and he alerted, of course, the owner of the restaurant, and the owner of the restaurant said, "Well, I have no problem with that, because I closed the shutter valve of my restaurant." Well, it was strange because we have consumption, so we insist a bit, and he decided to see by himself in his restaurant, and he forgot to shut off his valve first, and there was a leak in his restaurant. So he was very happy to have this data in real time, because finally he managed to close the leak. So yes, it was a good example. And so with all our customers, this is the same thing. They want to detect leaks in real time, and they want to stop to have a huge water wastage in their buildings. So we are working with L'Oreal, with Vinci Airports, with highways, with a facility manager, with hotels group, with Starbucks in US, and with more than 100 customers in the world. And so now we would like to roll out our solution in different cities in the world. So we started with cities in Europe, with 10 cities, and it's a good stories, because it's a good success stories, because we managed to save more than 30% in these cities. So yes, it's a good business. And in 2 weeks, I'm going in Africa to equip all the cities of the future of Dakar in
Yeah.
Senegal. Yeah. They built a city of the future, like in Dubai, and they would like to equip all the city with our solution. So it's a really good success for us with this solution because everybody wants to reduce water consumption. Everybody wants to battle against the leaks. So
Right.
there is no no, yes, there is nobody who would like to say no, it's not possible because I'm not interested by saving waters. No, it's not possible. You cannot say that. So yeah, it's
So not only is it saving a tragic waste of good water,
mm,
but as water scarcity continues to become a bigger and bigger problem,
yeah,
demand is going to increase at the same time, and cost will increase. So
yes,
it's actually a huge economic impact as well. So
exactly.
I'll ask you, thinking 5, 10, 50 years down the road, let's assume Robo is pervasive around the world. What does that mean? What does it mean to the individual? What does it mean to society as a whole?
Well, it's a very difficult question, of course, because because in the future, anyway, the crisis with water will be here. So we we imagine that we can save every year 40% of water in the world with our solution. That means that we can continue to use water everywhere, but I'm sure that in the future, we all the cities of the world need to complete and to continue to roll out some new products to reduce again the water distribution. That means that they will put some valve to switch off the water automatically if there is something wrong. Maybe like in Africa, in South Africa, we need to militarize the water distribution to be sure that we don't use more than 100 liter a year, maybe a year, sorry, a
Mm,
day, maybe. This is the case in California. The governor decided to limit the water consumption by 200 liters by people a day, not more. So this is the future of our daily water consumption because it's not possible to continue like this. So I'm sure that in 10 years, everybody should reduce his own water consumption and should have a quota of water consumption with maybe not more than 100 liters by
mm.
people. So yes, it's not a really nice future. Sorry about that, but this is a reality.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, tell me if any of our listeners or viewers are interested in learning more or perhaps
yeah.
using the product, how is it that they can learn more or get in contact?
Well, there is two ways. Of course, a website, robo.tech. So it's ROBEAU dot tech, TECH, or directly to contact at robo.tech. So I'm not sure. Yes, you can see it. So very simple. By email or by with our page contact page on our website, and they can receive more information with all the prices for the solution and all the way we can define the configuration for their buildings.
Well, Sylvain, I want to thank you for your time today, but more importantly, thank you for the work that you're doing and
Yes,
helping all of us to
thank
waste
you very
less
much.
water.
Thank you very much, and also we have our business angel here. See you
Very,
soon. Thank you very much.
thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Bye bye.
And thank you for tuning in to this episode of Preview of Tomorrow. Listeners like you are essential to advancing our efforts to drive resiliency and sustainability for all. I ask that you give us a rating on Apple Podcasts or whichever streaming platform you prefer. Your feedback helps us to grow and share these brief previews of what life in the future can be. In addition to thanking our guest today, I want to thank Peter Roy and Demetria Bridges for making this podcast possible. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and encourage others to also join us each week in previewing the possibilities of tomorrow.
Preview of Tomorrow is brought to you by Leading Cities, a global nonprofit driving resilience and sustainability for all by unleashing the potential of the world's cities. Join them at leadingcities.org.